Something in your body is screaming without words. Does it hurt, but no one sees it? Do you get tired for no reason? Do you feel something growing in you, but don't you know what it is? This revelation does not come from this world. Dolores Cannon spoke of invisible energies that inhabit the body. Today, one of them is about to break the silence. If you felt like your soul is trying to warn you about something, don't you dare ignore it. What if what's been draining you, Taurus, can't be found in any scan? What if the true weight you've been carrying is spiritual, ancient, invisible to every eye except your soul's? Lately, there's been a heaviness you can't explain. You move slower. You sigh more often. You wake up tired, and no one seems to understand why. They look at your strength and think you're fine. But deep within, you know something isn't right. You've begun to feel it. Not in words, not even in thoughts, but in quiet waves through your body, subtle signals, a tightening in your chest, a dull ache in your lower back, a fog behind your eyes. It's not panic, it's not age, it's a message, a sign, a shadow growing. If you've been feeling this too, like something invisible has been quietly taking root inside you, pause for a moment. Leave a comment below sharing what your soul has been whispering. And if this message is already opening something inside you, don't leave without subscribing. More sacred truths are coming, and you won't want to miss them. And here's the truth no one dares to say. Something has attached itself to your energy field, not to harm you directly, but because of neglect, spiritual neglect. You've been absorbing far too much, carrying emotions that aren't yours, living in environments that dim your frequency, listening to voices that doubt your worth. This has consequences. You're Taurus, earth sign ruled by Venus. You ground others. You offer shelter, stability, love. But in silence, you've been giving more than you receive. And the body has begun to rebel. Not out of punishment, but out of alarm. Like a sacred bell ringing within your cells, saying, if you don't listen now, I will make you stop. This isn't ordinary tiredness. It's an energetic illness, one that bypasses logic, that hides from tests and checkups, that camouflages itself as stress or burnout. But you know, don't you? You feel it, and it's time to name it, to face it, to let the light expose what's been growing in the dark. This isn't a medical diagnosis, it's a soul diagnosis. What has been feeding on your light? What words spoken behind your back entered your field like arrows? What past heartbreaks were buried too quickly and now echo through your body as tension, inflammation, imbalance? There's a spiritual principle that few understand. What the soul suppresses, the body expresses. You've been strong for too long, and now your body is whispering, no more. But hear this, dear Taurus, the fact that you are reading this is no coincidence. This message reached you because your spirit finally gave permission for healing to begin. And healing starts by uncovering, by acknowledging what has been quietly hurting you, by letting your truth be louder than your endurance. Let us break the silence now with a sacred decree, a word not of desperation, but of divine defiance. Write it below as a seal, as a key, as the moment your spirit stood up and said, I am ready. Taurus, speak this truth into the universe by writing it in the comments. I now release every silent pain and reclaim my healing. Let your words echo beyond the physical. Let your declaration mark the end of invisible suffering. The universe is listening, and your restoration has already begun. Why you, Taurus? Why now? Why does the pain seem to come from nowhere when your life appears stable on the outside? Let's go deeper. The truth is, your soul has been storing unresolved stories, not just from this life, but from many. And your body, this sacred temple, has been carrying them without complaint until now. There's something important you must understand. You have become a vessel of accumulated energy, not only yours, but from those around you. As a Taurus, you are naturally magnetic. You draw people in. You give peace, comfort, security. But few realize that the same field of stability that makes you a safe haven also turns you into a sponge for spiritual residue. old conversations, arguments long past, energies from places you visited, thoughts directed toward you with envy, with judgment, with longing. You've taken in more than your system can safely hold. You've carried what others could not, and over time, this has weighed on your organs, your breath, your rest. The sadness you never voiced became tightness in the chest. The betrayal you tried to forget became knots in your stomach. The fatigue from always saying yes when your soul screamed no became a heaviness in your bones. What grows inside you now is not purely physical. It's a reflection of energetic toxicity, an invisible fog layered upon your vitality. But here lies the divine paradox. What seems like illness is also a call to remember your own power, to choose yourself, to purify not just your routines, but your aura. Can you feel it? That subtle pulse of truth rising through your spine, reminding you of something ancient, something your body has known long before your mind admitted it? Here's what it wants you to know. You are not broken. You are overloaded. And that is something we can change. But to do so, we must confront the sources, the people, the dynamics, the beliefs that keep you bound in this loop. Start by asking, who drains me just by speaking? What spaces feel heavy after I leave them? What stories about my body, health, or worth am I repeating from others, not myself? Because energy cannot lie, and your body, sacred Taurus, is no longer willing to hold what doesn't belong. Even now, as you read this, you may feel sensations rising, a tension, a sigh, a flicker in your heart or throat. That's your body speaking. That's your spirit waking. You've come to a sacred threshold, the place between suffering and sovereignty. And if you walk through, if you choose to release what never should have been yours to carry, your healing will not only begin, it will echo through every timeline, every version of you. But for that, we must keep going. In part 3, we'll unveil the hidden agreements, the silent vows and soul contracts that allowed this imbalance to grow in the first place. You may be shocked at what your spirit once agreed to and deeply moved by how ready you are now to revoke it all. Before the pain became physical, before the exhaustion settled into your bones, there were unspoken agreements, contracts, not written in words but in energy. You didn't sign them with ink, you signed them with survival. Perhaps you once believed that to be loved, you had to remain strong, even when breaking inside. Perhaps you learned that to keep peace, you had to betray your own needs, or maybe you inherited them from your mother, your father, generations that came before you, who swallowed grief, who hid their wounds, who stayed quiet for the sake of family, culture, appearance. Taurus, this is what your soul wants you to see now. The illness you feel is not just yours, it is ancestral. Some of it has passed through blood, other parts through energy, through repetition, through silence. But all of it now lives in you and your spirit. It has decided that you will be the one to end the cycle. But breaking a cycle means facing it. It means going back, not to blame, but to unweave. Unweave the moments you agreed to carry burdens that weren't yours. Unweave the identity that said, I must be the strong one. Unweave the story that healing must come last, after everything else is done. Taurus, you've been last on your own list for too long. And these contracts, though invisible, are binding. They shape your behaviors, your boundaries, your body's response to stress. They influence what you accept, tolerate, ignore. And some of them are still active, hidden in the background of your daily life. But here's the sacred moment. Today, you can revoke them, not with rage, not with blame, but with truth, because truth breaks spells. Can you feel that shift? That deep yes rising from somewhere ancient within you? Then let the world know. Comment below and subscribe now to stay aligned with this journey of healing and revelation. Your voice matters, and what you're feeling, it's real. You're not alone. Speak it with me now. I revoke every vow of silence, every contract of self-neglect, every inheritance of suffering that no longer serves my soul's path. I now choose life, freedom, and restoration. Feel the weight shift. The lightness that follows truth is the beginning of liberation. You are not weak for feeling the pain. You are brave for facing what others have buried. And as you release these old pacts, your body will begin to respond slowly, then suddenly. Sleep will come easier. Breathing will deepen. Emotions will rise and dissolve, because what the soul releases, the body no longer needs to express. This isn't a metaphor, it's an energetic law. And in part 4, we will invoke a direct spiritual cleansing, a divine disconnection from the sources of toxicity. No more passive endurance. No more waiting for someone else to fix it. This is the sacred fire that purifies from within. We will call on your guides. We will rewrite the terms, and your body will finally begin to heal. Before the pain became physical, before the exhaustion settled into your bones, there were unspoken agreements, contracts, not written in words, but in energy. You didn't sign them with ink, you signed them with survival. Perhaps you once believed that to be loved, you had to remain strong, even when breaking inside. Perhaps you learned that to keep peace, you had to betray your own needs. Or maybe you inherited them from your mother, your father, generations that came before you, who swallowed grief, who hid their wounds, who stayed quiet for the sake of family, culture, appearance. Taurus, this is what your soul wants you to see now. The illness you feel is not just yours. It is ancestral. Some of it has passed through blood, other parts through energy, through repetition, through silence, but all of it now lives in you and your spirit. It has decided that you will be the one to end the cycle. But breaking a cycle means facing it. It means going back, no, not to blame, but to unweave. Unweave the moments you agreed to carry burdens that weren't yours. Unweave the identity that said, I must be the strong one. Unweave the story that healing must come last, after everything else is done. Taurus, you've been last on your own list for too long. And these contracts, though invisible, are binding. They shape your behaviors, your boundaries, your body's response to stress. They influence what you accept, tolerate, ignore, and some of them are still active, hidden in the background of your daily life. But here's the sacred moment. Today, you can revoke them, not with rage, not with blame, but with truth. Because truth breaks spells. Speak it with me now. I revoke every vow of silence, every contract of self-neglect, every inheritance of suffering that no longer serves my soul's path. I now choose life, freedom, and restoration. Feel the weight shift. The lightness that follows truth is the beginning of liberation. You are not weak for feeling the pain. You are brave for facing what others have buried. And as you release these old pacts, your body will begin to respond, slowly, then suddenly. Sleep will come easier, breathing will deepen, emotions will rise and dissolve, because what the soul releases, the body no longer needs to express. This isn't a metaphor, it's an energetic law. Now, Taurus, we do not speak, we command. This is not a prayer of hope. This is a spiritual decree, a divine intervention, activated by your awakening. Your soul has chosen healing. Your body has asked for release. And now, the energy that was once invited, consciously or unconsciously, must go. Wherever it came from, whoever it belonged to, whatever shadow it carried, it can no longer stay. Close your eyes if you can. Breathe deeply. With every exhale, feel what's not yours beginning to loosen its grip. We now invoke a shield of divine frequency around your body, above your head, behind your back, beneath your feet. No harm shall cross it, no fear shall remain. We call on the sacred force of Archangel Raphael, the divine physician, carrier of the emerald flame. Raphael, step forward now, enter the bloodstream, enter the spine, enter the places where pain took root, where light was blocked, where silence made room for sickness. Where there is inflammation, send your cooling balm. Where there is fatigue, breathe your holy wind. Where there is imbalance, correct, align, restore. Raphael, walk through every organ of this body. Cleanse the liver of what it could not filter. Strengthen the heart where heartbreak still echoes. Touch the stomach where fear disguised itself as digestion. Heal the womb, the throat, the joints, every sacred door where energy once entered without permission. Now, Taurus, speak silently or aloud. No more contracts, no more weight, no more pain in the name of love. I call back every part of me that I gave away to survive. Your light is returning. You may feel warmth now, or chills, or the urge to cry. Let it all come. This is movement. This is release. The body is responding to truth. The soul is reclaiming space. And the universe, it has already begun to shift in your favor. What was once heavy will feel lighter. What once felt like punishment will begin to show its purpose. The fog is lifting, and in its place a new clarity is arriving. But be gentle in the days ahead. Your system is still recalibrating. Drink water, sleep longer, say no more often. You are not the same. You are reattuned. Now, Taurus, breathe. You've walked through shadows, faced what most would ignore, named the unnamed, felt the unfelt, and as the old energies dissolve, something sacred stirs within you, a remembering. You are not your pain. You are not your fatigue. You are not the sum of symptoms others failed to recognize. You are the keeper of a temple, a divine vessel, and that temple is returning to you. What does it feel like to be home in your own skin again? It feels like waking without heaviness. It feels like hunger without fear. It feels like rest that actually restores. It feels like walking into a room and knowing your energy is protected. Like saying no without guilt. Like eating, breathing, moving in ways that honor your wholeness, not your wounds. This is what your healing unlocks. Not just the absence of illness, but the presence of power. And make no mistake that power is visible. Soon others will see something different in you. They won't know what changed, but they'll feel it. The stillness, the depth, the quiet authority of someone who has reclaimed their sacred space. You'll notice it too, when conversations no longer drain you, when your skin begins to glow again, when your dreams return with clarity and guidance, when food nourishes instead of numbing, when silence feels safe again. Taurus, you've been reborn, not by force but by truth, not through medicine alone, but through alignment. And this body of yours, it is now a sanctuary, a space where only love may dwell, where only truth is allowed to echo, where only aligned energies may stay. This is not the end of your healing, it is the beginning of your embodiment. So protect what you've reclaimed. Bless your spaces, cleanse with intention, speak with awareness. Rest when your soul asks. Move in rhythm with your inner tides. This isn't about perfection, it's about presence. The old you survived, the new you thrives. And now, I invite you to seal this entire journey with a final sacred declaration, not just for yourself, but as a beacon for others who carry silent pain. Dear Taurus, if this message resonated with your soul, write this in the comments to claim your transformation. My body is my sanctuary. I now live with light, peace, and full presence. Let your words become a prayer, a vibration, a signal to the universe that you are ready, not just to survive, but to live in full radiance. Your healing has already begun. Your path has been cleared. Now go and inhabit the life that was waiting for you all along. If this message touched you, don't let it fade. Keep this light alive. Subscribe to receive more messages tuned to your soul's healing. And in the comments, leave your sacred declaration, not for algorithm, but as a commitment to your own transformation. This space was made for you, and your energy here, it matters.